times. Well, they call him Rockin' Ron, and that's why he's been KO'd his last 4 times out. And boom!
We're here joined by top GB amateur and future professional Lewis Richardson. Lewis, how you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you, and thanks for having me on.
No problem. It's good to have another Hallam student on the channel.
Yeah, I've recently had my final grade back for my masters. Yeah, I've done my masters in sport business management. Really good degree, and glad I done it. Was challenging balancing the two, but yeah, glad I got it done, and maybe something for the future, maybe not, but yeah, it's always good to have.
Yeah, that was my question. It must have been very difficult for you because obviously you've won Commonwealth Games bronze medal, you've won silver at the Europeans, you've done a lot as an amateur. Was it difficult to sort of balance that in the uni at the same time?
It was, yeah. You'd have to excuse me. I'm just making chili con carne for lunch slash dinner slash lunch tomorrow, so that's why you might see a few sort of random foods going in. And the master's course is generally 1 year long, but I've done it over two, so I've done it part time, and then had to defer my final dissertation because I had the Europeans and Commonwealth last summer, and that's when the dissertation was due. So everyone was really supportive. Everyone was really understanding. It was challenging. It was busy, but yeah, I'm glad I've done it.
It might sound a bit silly, but do you ever worry that you sort of missed out on the uni experience because you're obviously so dedicated to
Yeah,
boxing?
so people have spoke about this to me, but for me, I never went for that. I was never, I was never planning on going for that. So I don't really know what I've missed out on, and for that reason, I think I'm not really too fussed because obviously, with my training and everything, I don't drink anyway. And I have to get early nights. So we've got training in the morning and things like that. So, some would say it's a bit of a boring life, but others would appreciate the commitment you're putting into the sport and sort of the sacrifices you're making. And also, it saved me a lot of money along the way from not having to. I was fortunate enough to sort of stay in accommodation provided by GB Boxing whilst I was up Sheffield, and obviously didn't have to pay for all those nights out.
For anyone that hasn't seen you box before, how would you describe your style? Is there anyone professional, maybe past or present, you'd compare your style to?
I mean, I'd like to compare it a little bit to Luke Campbell. I'm not sure everyone would agree, but I'm just just generally a pretty well-rounded southpaw, to be honest, who can do a bit of both, but primarily I want to be boxing on the back foot and not getting too involved. There are occasions, and I've developed my sort of aggressive style a bit more now, where I can sort of compete on the inside a little bit more.
When did you first get into boxing and how did you get into it?
Um, Started when I was 13, so back in 2010, probably 20. I think I had my debut in January 2011. I always get a bit confused, but I think it was January 2011. I mean, I used to enjoy playing footy. I just went down for a bit of fitness, really. I remember there was about 12 of the local. I'm just a local sort of count to a state kid, and 12 of us went down to the gym. One by one, everyone dropped off, and then there was two of us left, and we both had four fights, won three. He dropped off, and then it's sort of last man standing.
So you're 25, is that right? 25?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said on Google, but Google's quite often wrong.
yeah.
So, are you planning on turning pro soon, or do you still have more ambitions as an amateur?
Yeah, so it's been a strange 12 months for me because obviously I had two majors last summer in the Europeans and the Commonwealth medal at both. Didn't get the medal, I wanted it both. Got a European silver and a Commonwealth bronze. So, I wasn't where I wanted to be, but it's medals nonetheless at major comp. So nothing to be frowned upon. Unfortunately, missed out on Tokyo 2020 due to COVID. I only had one opportunity to qualify and drew the world number one in the qualifier, who went on to win Olympic silver. I had a bit of an unfortunate draw on that one, and then okay, I was like, cool, I'm gonna stay amateur and go for Paris 24. Then last year, the weights got sort of jiggled around, and middleweight got cut. So the Olympic dream was sort of over. That leaves me with not really much else to sort of go for in amateur boxing. So yeah, in the near future, I will be looking to probably stray towards that professional side of things.
So there's been a lot of top amateur boxers like Paddy Barnes, Frankie Gavin, David Oliver Joyce that have been incredible world level amateurs, but then they haven't really managed to transfer into the professional game. Do you think your style suits professional game? Do you think it'll be an easy transition for you?
But I definitely think I'm fit enough. You know, performance director of GB Boxing always says non-negotiable with with pro boxing, you have to be super fit. I feel like I'm better over 5 and 6 than I am over 3 necessarily. So, if I can transfer that 6 into 8, into 10, into 12, yeah, I definitely feel like I'm capable of having a good go. I think a lot of people get let down in professional ranks because of self-discipline in pro boxing. I think I'd argue you go self-employed, there's an option to sort of, I don't fancy running today, I'm going to leave it, or things like that. Or, yeah, coach, I've had enough on the bag, sort of. I know I won't have that mindset. So I believe in myself. I wouldn't be looking to turn professional if I didn't. So, yeah, I'm excited for the next few years.
What are you hoping to achieve when you turn pro? Are there specific goals that you want to achieve, or are you just going to turn pro and see how far you can go?
I think it's realistic that I could challenge and win for a challenge for and win a world title. Obviously, you have to get guided in the right direction in pro games. It's a business rather than just the best is going to win all the time. It's different to the amateurs where you turn up at a competition and at an elite level competition as well, and could be boxing anyone in your weight category. It's different to that. So I need the right team around me to be guided in the right direction. But yeah, I believe that I can go all the way, and if I don't go all the way, I don't think I'll be far off.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's a bit of a job interview question, but I'm always interested to see what people say.
Um, for me, 5 years is looking around that sort of fringe level of European into world championship sort of fights. Definitely planning on being in and amongst that sort of top level in my weight category. Yeah, in 5 years.
Final question now. How would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as someone more than just a boxer who left a positive impact on sort of every person or most people that you've made contact with, whether that be over the phone or via video call or in person. I'd like them to think, yeah, he was a good person, and also just put a smile on someone's face, and yeah, just be positive. I wouldn't want anyone leaving an interaction with me feeling any worse than when they started. Unless it's my opponent in the ring. But yeah, just someone who was a positive person and who worked hard and was the best that they could be. I try not to compare myself to too many other people. I try to just be the best that I can be.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate.